Welcome to Deep Dive Conversation on Chapter 5 from our previously discussed dystopian novel Brave New World by Aldous Huxley.
Great to be diving back in.
Yeah, so in this chapter we get a really fascinating look at the daily lives and, the social rituals of this meticulously engineered society.
Two very distinct viewpoints.
Exactly. We'll be exploring Lena the Crown and Henry Foster's Evening, and then Bernard Marx's pretty different experience at a solidarity service.
Right. The sources obviously are excerpts from Chapter 5 itself.
Yep. And our mission is basically to unpack the key aspects, understand what this chapter reveals about Huxley's world, and, connect it to the bigger themes in the novel.
Sounds good. Where should we start? Lenina and Henry.
Okay, let's unpack this. Chapter 5 opens as Lenina Crown and Henry Foster's workday finishes up at the Stoke Poaches Club. Even their leisure seems well scheduled.
Yeah, that loudspeaker announcing the golf course is closing with that more than human tenor. It's quite a detail.
It really is. That artificial voice kind of dictating free time says a lot, doesn't it?
It does. And it's so seamless, isn't it? Technology isn't this big spectacle. It's just there, part of everyday life.
Right.
That more than human tenor, it suggests technology has almost, replaced something human there. And then they immediately mention the internal and external secretion trust.
Yeah, the source for the factory.
Right. So even their downtime is kind of overshadowed by the industrial machinery of their world.
And you see that control everywhere.
Yeah.
Even the lower castes leaving, managed by loudspeaker, heading for the monorail, constant orchestration.
Everyone in their place.
Then we jump into the helicopter with Lenina and Henry and get this bird's eye view. What strikes you about that?
Well, the segregation is just so stark. Visually obvious from 800 feet up. You've got the huge lower caste barracks versus the smaller houses reserved for alpha and beta members. Even a wall separating them. It's the hierarchy made physical.
Yeah, literally built into the landscape.
And that description of the lower caste activity at the station, ant-like pullulation. It's pretty dehumanizing, isn't it? Really hammers home the engineered differences.
It really does. And then the slow crematorium, described as majestic buildings, floodlit chimneys. That's almost like a tourist spot.
Yeah, a prominent landmark.
And Lenina's question about the balconies just leads straight into this incredibly detached chat about phosphorus recovery.
Oh, yes. Henry's enthusiasm.
Right. He's almost proud. Over 98% recovery, making people socially useful even after we're dead. It's so clinical.
Exactly. Death is just another industrial process. All personal meaning stripped away, folded into the system, utility above all else.
Even after you're dead, you're making plants grow.
And Henry's so proud that it's a core value. Absolute utility.
But Lenina has this fleeting thought, doesn't she?
Yeah.
About why alphas and betas wouldn't make more phosphorus or contribute more to plant growth.
Yeah, it's like a little crack appears in her conditioning for a second. She almost questions the inequality, even if it's framed in this weirdly practical, almost agricultural way. But Henry shuts it down immediately with that hypnopedic line. All men are physico-chemically equal.
The conditioning kicks right back in.
Instantly. It stops any deeper questioning. And then he adds the bit about epsilons being indispensable.
Which triggers Lenina's memory, right?
Right.
Waking up as a kid to that soft voice.
Yeah, repeating, everyone works for everyone else. Even epsilons are useful. Over and over.
It shows how deep that hypnopedia goes, right from childhood. Her fear turning into comfort. It's quite unsettling.
It really is. It shows the power of that constant reinforcement. And then Lenina says, I suppose epsilons don't really mind being epsilons.
And Henry just agrees. Conditioning, heredity, case closed.
It highlights that manufactured contentment. You're conditioned to be glad you're not another caste, no matter where you are. It's a clever control mechanism.
Like preemptive gratitude or something.
Yeah, sort of, yeah. Lenina's relieved she's not as epsilon, and Henry's like, well, an epsilon wouldn't want to be anything else because of their conditioning. It just underlines how artificial their happiness is.
Then they fly back over the crematorium, and Henry calls it a switchback.
Right, the hot air rising, then the chill. Lenina thinks it's marvelous, fun even.
But Henry gets this moment, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Flicker of something else.
Yeah, that brief melancholy, thinking about a human being finally and definitely disappearing. He even wonders who it was, alpha, epsilon, man, woman.
A hint of individuality being erased.
Exactly. A flicker of maybe empathy or just acknowledging a unique existence, but then snap, back to the conditioning.
Anyhow, he was happy when he was alive. Everybody's happy now.
And Lenina just echoes it like an automaton.
Programmed response.
Yeah.
So their evening moves on. Dinner, loud dining hall. And then soma,
Ah, yes. Soma time. 2 half-gram tablets for her, 3 for him. Just normal.
standard evening supplement.
It's absolutely the bedrock of their stability, isn't it? That manufactured happiness. It's always there, always accepted, always working to block out anything. Unpleasant.
Like the stars. They walk to the Westminster Abbey Cabaret. It's a starry night, but they don't even notice because of the sky signs.
Perfect illustration. They're choosing the artificial over the real, helped by the soma, of course.
And the cabaret itself, just a sensory overload. Heat, synthetic perfumes, the color organ, the 16 saxophonists.
Yeah, playing There Ain't No Bottle in All the World like that dear little bottle of mine. It's all designed for instant, intense, but ultimately shallow pleasure.
A totally engineered environment.
Crafted to distract and gratify. The music, the visuals, the air, all synthetic, all geared towards immediate sensation, no room for deep thoughts or feelings.
That moment where the conductor silences the merely human blowers for the ether music.
Right.
Wow, artificial is better than natural, even in art.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And there's Soma Holiday, that feeling of warmth and connection. It's completely manufactured.
Even the Malthusian blues conjures up that weird image. Twin embryos gently rocking on the waves of a bottled ocean of blood surrogate.
It's such a twisted image of comfort, isn't it? Huxley showing how even intimacy is warped and produced.
And the polite commands from the loudspeakers at the end. Control down to the last detail.
And they take more soma before leaving, so they remain oblivious to the depressing stars. A deliberate wall between them and reality.
An impenetrable wall, the text says. And even drugged, Lenina's contraception is automatic. Years of Malthusian drill.
The conditioning runs deep. Her question about her belt seems almost trivial after all that.
Okay, so that's Lenny and Henry. Now let's pivot to Bernard. His Thursday is, well, it's different.
Totally different vibe. Alternate Thursdays are solidarity service days for him. A ritual, not casual indulgence.
Even his dinner plans hint at the social stuff.
Yeah.
Eating where Helmholtz was recently elected. Status matters, even for alphas.
Right. And his trip to the Fordson Community Cinery. It's described with this almost religious awe.
Yeah, the floodlit building, the big crimson tees, gigantically beautiful, and Big Henry, the clock tower, booming out, Ford, Ford, Ford. He's anxious about being late.
That anxiety immediately sets the tone for his experience. The scale of the place, thousands of rooms for these groups, it shows how important this forced unity is.
So Bernard gets to room 3210, and his first thought is relief that he's not last.
Right.
And he actually hopes to frown at the latecomers.
Yeah, it shows his insecurity right away, doesn't it? That petty thought.
Right.
And then that awkward chat with Morgana Rothschild.
Oh, painful. She asks if he played golf. He admits he didn't, and she's just astonished. Turns away.
It's just a perfect little moment showing his alienation. He can't even do the normal alpha leisure stuff. It marks him out.
And he's instantly miserable, thinking it's another failure, wishing he'd sat next to Fifi or Joanna instead.
Right, blaming his seat choice, noticing Morgana's eyebrow, Clara being too pneumatic. He's so detached and judgmental, even while wanting connection.
Yeah, he's trapped in his own head. Then the circle completes. Man, woman, man, 12 people ready to, dissolve.
Lose their identities, become one. That's the goal.
The ritual starts. Sign of the T, synthetic music. Huxley describes the music affecting their yearning bowels of compassion. It's very physical.
He really emphasizes the sensory manipulation, and then the loving cup of strawberry ice cream soma comes round.
I drink to my annihilation. They each say it.
12 times. The goal is explicit.
How the first hymn. Forward, we are 12, oh, make us one, like drops within the social river.
The lyrics spell it out, merging into the collective. Then the cup goes round again. I drink to the greater being.
Merging with something bigger.
And the music keeps going, relentless, hypnotic. Soma starts working, eyes shining, flushed cheeks, benevolent smiles.
Everyone's getting into it,
Except Bernard. He feels a little melted, but he's still thinking about Morgana's unibrow.
That eyebrow. It's such a small thing, but it shows he's just not there, is he?
Not fully. It makes you wonder, can conditioning really stamp out all individuality? Or are there always these glitches? Like Bernard.
So the cup goes round a third time. I drink to the imminence of his coming. Morgana says it fervently.
Bernard repeats it, but feels nothing. He tries to beam, tries to feel it, but nothing. The coming feels horribly remote to him. He knows he's failing.
He predicts his own failure, even as he tries to play along. Then the third hymn, feel how the greater being comes. Rejoice, and in rejoicings die. Excitement builds.
The tension ramps up, then the president switches off the music. Silence. expectancy.
And the voice comes, more musical than any merely human voice. Deep, strong. Oh, forward, forward, forward.
People feel warmth, tears, inner movement. It's pure emotional manipulation. Then the whisper, the feet of the greater being are on the stairs.
Oh, the drama.
Intense. Everyone else starts crying out, I hear him. I see him. Collective delusion takes hold.
But Bernard.
Bernard hears nothing, sees nothing, but he shouts along anyway. I hear him. He's coming. It feels totally false to him.
He's just going through the motions. The jigging, stamping, chanting. I hear him coming, slapping buttocks.
Yeah, the orgy-porgy. It's this frenzy whipped up by the music and the chanting.
Orgy-porgy, forward and fun. Kiss the girls and make them one.
It's this bizarre mix of religion, sex, and, well, Ford, all designed to fuse them together and obliterate the individual self. The lights change red, like an embryo store.
Dancing in the blood-colored and fetal darkness. Wow. It's meant to be this ecstatic release, this merging.
Yeah, a total sensory assault to prevent any real thought.
And the aftermath. On the roof later. Fifi's in ecstasy. Wasn't it wonderful? She asked Bernard.
And that's the knife twist for him. He lies, says yes, but feels totally empty, totally isolated. Seeing her genuine bliss just highlights his own failure to connect.
He feels separate, unfused, still self-conscious. Still thinking about
Morgana's eyebrow, even in her arms, apparently. It's the perfect symbol of his complete alienation.
Yeah, that final image. Miserable, isolated, fixated on a trivial detail while everyone else is supposedly merged into the greater being. The solidarity service just didn't work for him at all.
Which really makes you question the whole system, doesn't it? If it doesn't work for everyone, how perfect is it? It suggests maybe individuality can't be entirely conditioned away.
So Chapter 5 really throws these two experiences into sharp relief. You've got Lenina and Henry's engineered happiness, fueled by soma and distraction.
Seemingly content, functional, but maybe superficial.
And then Bernard's experience, which is meant to be about unity, but leaves him feeling more alone than ever.
It really drives home the power of the conditioning and hypnopedia, but also hints at its potential limits or failures.
And raises all sorts of questions about genuine connection versus manufactured unity, individuality versus the collective good, the price of happiness in this world.
Definitely. You see it in the efficiency of the crematorium, the pure escapism of the cabaret, and the intensity, maybe the hollowness of the solidarity service.
So, thinking about Bernard's struggle, his inability to just go with it, what do you think that tells us about the limits of this society Huxley created?
It suggests that maybe there's something inherent in some individuals, maybe an awareness or a sensitivity that resists the conditioning. That perhaps true conformity, true erasure of the self isn't always possible, even with all their technology and psychology. It's a crack in the perfect surface.
A fascinating thought to leave things on. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to see you when we discuss the next chapter.